Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Darin and this is DerinsCorner. I talk about lifestyle, travel, and all about food. If this is your first time, please don't forget to like my video, to subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Today, I'm going to be making something special, something that is going to be very easy to make, and this is lentils akara. So akara is known as bean cake, so it's typically made from beans, but I'm going to be using lentils in place of beans. And this is so easy to make because you don't have to start peeling your beans, or you don't have to soak it overnight. You don't have to peel it and blend it. This is very easy to make. You can soak it overnight, but not necessarily. It's not necessary for you to soak it at all. So just wash your red lentils. You want to use red lentils for this. You don't want to use the green lentils. Use the red lentils. Rinse it out just to remove some little bit of dirt. Usually there's really no dirt in lentils. And so once it's all rinsed, you can also decide to soak it overnight if you don't have a very strong blender, because soaking it overnight will soften the lentils. But if you have a good blender, then you don't need to soak it overnight. The next thing, just like you would do for beans, would be to cut your onions, your red bell peppers, and your habaneros or scotch bonnet, whichever one you have at home. The idea is to make the lentils red and to add some flavor to the lentils, and that is exactly what I'm doing. So next, you want to add just very little water to your lentils. You don't want to overflog your lentils, just little water, and then you're going to go ahead and blend it. You can see the consistency of my lentils. That is what you are going for. Just don't put too much water. You don't need a lot of water to make akara. Just very little water and good blending of your lentils or bean cake. And once I'm done, I'm going to add more air into it. I'm going to cut some little bit of onions and put it, but that will be the last thing I would do. But obviously you want to season it first, so I'm going to add some salt. I'm going to add some seasoning to it as well. Akara doesn't need a lot of flavor, as in you don't want to add too many things. I see a lot of people adding, some people would add like crayfish, add corned beef, and add, so some actually add like diced beef, add corned beef, put all sorts of orishishi inside akara, and that is doing too much. You don't want to do too much with your akara. Akara is always great just plain as it is. The only thing you need to add is a little bit of diced onions and some habanero or scotch bonnet. But before you do that, that should be the last thing you would add. You're going to use your hand mixer and add in some air into your lentils mix, and this is to make it fluffy. So you want to aerate the bean cake batter, and that is exactly what I'm doing, and I'm just tasting it to see if it is tasty. So when it is fully aerated, I'm going to add in my onions. Like I said, you don't want to add in the onions and then aerate it, so it makes it flat. So you just want to add in the onions and then you just fold it in. You fold in your mixture, and you can see that it's all aerated. It's properly aerated right now. And this is what you want in your akara. You don't want it to be too thick that it becomes so dense, and you don't want it to be too runny, otherwise it's not going to form inside your hot oil. And so once you do this, you're going to set it aside, and then you get ready to start deep frying. So I have my hot oil in my pan, and I'm sure we all have that pan that we use for frying. This is exactly that pan for me. And I'm just going to be using my ice cream scoop, and I love the versatility of an ice cream scoop, especially when it comes to deep frying butters. So I use my ice cream scoop for that, and I'm just putting in 1 scoop at a time into my hot oil. You want to make sure that your oil is deep enough to fry, because with akara the trick is to deep fry it, otherwise you're gonna just have a very flat butter. So make sure you have oil that is very like overflowing, like you don't want it to be too low. You don't want to use a frying pan, you want to use actually a deep pot to fry your butter, and then you just flip it. I'm using a skewer to do that, and I'm just flipping it as soon as it's golden brown. Also, when you put in your butter, you want it to float to the top immediately. That tells you whether the oil is hot or not, and that is what I'm doing. So I'm going to continue to deep fry my lentils butter, and you would see how it eventually comes out. Okay, so it's all golden brown now, and I'm just going to go ahead and scoop out my akara, and I'm going to fry the second batch as well. And you can see how I'm just dipping this into oil, scoop it and release it. That's how great and versatile the ice cream scoop is. If you don't have an ice cream scoop, just use your normal spoon, and you'll just take a scoop and drop it into the hot oil, and that also works as well. But this is easier that way, for you to form that round shape akara butter, and to have some equal sizing, equal consistency for your akara. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop my akara out, and you just want to make sure that you remove the excess oil, and you can then transfer it into a kitchen towel lined bowl, because you still want to remove the excess oil. I'm going to do this for every akara in the oil, just to remove everything and make sure it looks nice. And this is what the finished product looks like. Let's do a test. Good akara is going to be crunchy on the outside, and you can hear that. And then it's going to be fluffy on the inside, and you can see what the inside of this akara looks like. Very crunchy on the outside, but then the inside is very fluffy and nice. And this is exactly how you want your akara to look like. You can feel the actual taste of the lentils in the akara, and it does have a quite little bit of difference between using the beans versus lentils, but I would tell you that it's not a noticeable difference. You can taste the difference, but it's not a difference that would make you not want to eat it. It tastes just similar to akara, but not exact, but it definitely is something different, and it's easy, very easy to make, and that's why I always try to make this in the house. This is what it looks like, and our akara is ready. You can see the perfect shape, the perfect akara shape, and we're going to be pairing this with oat that is soaked with fruit and yogurt. And this, my kitchen towel, is from the kitchen joint. I'm going to be putting a link. It's so versatile. It has some measurement indicators. So if you are actually lost in terms of your what to do, if your food is too spicy, if it's too salty, it gives you the hacks and the tricks, and it's just something very nice to have in your house and also to give as a gift. So if you want this kitchen towel, please click the link above, and you can use my code DerinsCorner and you get 10% off the actual price. So go ahead and click on the link to order your own kitchen towel. And like I said, this is a very delicious meal that you can have, and I hope you're gonna try this. And let me know if you try it. Let me know. And I'm just gonna be digging in and enjoying my breakfast, and this is just a balanced meal to make, and I hope you really try it. And if you do, please make sure you leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply you. And thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to follow us on all socials at DerinsCorner, and also feel free to check out Kitchen Joint. They have nice kitchenwares. Most of my kitchenwares are from the Kitchen Joint, and you can see that flatware as well is from the Kitchen Joint. This towel is actually their latest addition, and you should try it out because it just gives you all the tricks and hacks that you need in your kitchen. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.